So this morning I woke up thinking about Jaguar, good or bad, let's see. And I
Yeah,
thought it'd be good to have a conversation with you to hear your marketer's perspective on the Jaguar rebrand and contrast that with my perspective. Do we both align? Do we not? See, from a brand expert and marketing expert's point of view, thought we could have a chat.
yeah.
Um, so,
I'm so excited.
do you know what? I'm excited too. I'm a little bit cautious about it and thinking, what's next? It's a brave move. On their website, they're not selling any products. There's nothing there. They've just gone all in. I drove past the Jaguar showroom in Cribbs Causeway yesterday, and I wondered, what is the sales team doing at the moment? If I was a sales team member at the moment, I think that's what's going to happen there, because I'm not selling anything. And how long will it take for this new brand to convert into sales? That's the element of caution for me.
Yeah,
Equally, I am really excited by the brand. So with the initial launch of the rebrand, the video, it was quite different, very diverse and
yeah.
colourful. What did you think of it? Love it or hate
Oh,
it?
was it diverse though? Because I don't think it was that. I feel like it was a very niche group, and I love it. Just from the outset, I think I love the rebrand, but I think I'm definitely a target market. Not that I'm going to go out and buy one because I've got too many potholes around me. So, uh, yeah, I don't feel like it was. I
Do you know,
don't feel like it was that diverse.
looking at that advert, it, to me, it looks like the types of people that would buy the newer, the type 00 car, the
Yeah,
first was being launched potentially. You'd have to be quite eclectic, self-expressionist.
mhm,
Word would that be a demographic in the targeting? You want to stand out, don't you, in a totally different way, going
yeah,
against the grain sort of person.
yeah, definitely. And I think that's where the market, well, that's where they've kind of pushed this into. I, d- I think they've tried, haven't they, to make sure that they're not alienating the people that have been Jaguar owners
Well,
for years.
yeah. Do you think that? See, I think they might be. My perception of the old Jag brand was that you had the F-type Jag was the sporty, cool one.
Mm.
Everything else was a bit safe,
Yeah,
very traditional.
very staid.
A bit of
Yeah,
Volvo was just Volvo. That's the only, apart from the F-types. I have to admit, when I see an F-type, I'm like, oh, I quite like that. Um,
yeah,
I, I don't know. I can't imagine most of its current customers wanting to buy what is it, a London blue or Miami pink car.
no.
Um,
No, but then and I wanted to ask you about this as well, the color theory behind it. As there was someone talking about the color theory, and if you take off those really impactful, bright, vibrant colors, it does fit with their style and their look. So it's almost like they've gone right. What are those old sheets? The acetate sheets that you put on a projector. It's almost like they've gone right. Here's our style of car, and here are some crazy colors and made it look quite futuristic, but it still feels like it's a Jaguar car.
I think it's. I know
Yeah.
I guess linking to the F-type Jag, the
Mhm.
bonnet is really long on that one, and even
Yeah.
the older models, it is all about the long bonnet, which they've got with this type 00.
It doesn't it's so exaggerated, but
Quite tough, isn't it?
yeah, I
I,
love it. And there was a huge I don't know whether you saw all the controversy that was online of people going, "Oh, they haven't put a car in it at all. They haven't shown anything to do with the actual model. How do they even know it's a car ad?" But I like that because the amount of conversations that has been sparked and the reach that they've had by doing something completely different. And I think a few brands in the past have launched products or rebranded without actually showing any
I
product.
think it's that suspense, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's creating that intrigue, and because it was so different, people would have being hungry to know more, like, oh, tell me, I want to see what this product is about. And that creates that user generated content, like people are talking about you using your hashtags, everyone doing that
Yeah.
market
And
for you.
even if it's marketers talking about you, there are some brands out there that definitely use marketers and try and create controversy so that the world and its dog is talking about your rebrand. So they've definitely done that. And then looking at the partnerships that's coming out now look quite interesting.
So again,
Yeah, the brand partnerships that they've got going out at the moment are quite interesting, and I think that gives you a little bit of a peek as to who their target market is as well. Creating that is very aspirational.
I think it is. Yeah, it's with the current influencers looking on Instagram, and there aren't really that many posts on the Jaguar Instagram at the moment. So,
They've literally started from scratch.
yeah, it's very Beyonce, isn't it? Or, Taylor Swift, just like, right, I'm going to wipe my social clean, start again,
Yeah,
reset. It's a drama queen
yeah.
style. I quite like it. It creates conversation. But, I don't know, the collaborations and the influences, I don't know, it's reaching a much younger demographic. And I'm not sure if they will have the budget to actually fly one of these.
Well, the idea that all marketing at the moment is at Gen Z, millennial, and younger, and trying to attract that younger audience is everywhere. Every report at the moment that I'm seeing, every benchmarking thing, every trends thing, it's all about social media is for age 35 and down. But it just seems like people are forgetting about that slightly older market at the moment. But I don't think that's what they've done. I feel like they're trying to reach, yes, a younger audience, but actually I feel like it's very millennial. The feedback from Gen Z has been like they loved the vintage logo and they liked all of this stuff because they're seeing it as vintage, whereas we're seeing it as old. So
Yeah,
I think that they haven't gone that young, and I think that
wasn't it? It can,
yeah, yeah, the
yeah.
90s are back. They've been back for ages.
Uh, when I listened to the launch video for the Type AA, the CCA, so Jeremy McGovern, he was talking about the copy. Nothing comes from the original founder. And whenever I work on brand ideas, it is about the justification. Where did this come from? It's not just a random, exciting idea that we want to run with. And I think to have that sort of story as
Yeah.
to what inspired this kind of leads on to that question of why did they rebrand rather than evolve? So maybe that is the halfway in between. It is an evolution of its original essence, but in a big bang modernist way that's going to appeal
Yeah.
to a completely different generation.
Well, they've also got to appeal to a different generation, haven't they? Because if they carried on the same way, their target market aren't going to be here for much longer, or wanting to spend money on the cars either, because they're now starting to think about, financial planning and passing on inheritance. They need to reach that younger market. And I don't think that they were going to reach, millennials, Gen X in the same way, because there's that, it's your parents' car. And it's just not as appealing. So they had to do something. Otherwise, they'd have to skip a couple of, generations.
It's a big transformation. I'm fascinated to see how long it will take for the target generation to be customers of Jaguar, and can they see it through? So when they might actually be buying, there will be a peak, like an initial, everyone's wanting to have a London blue or Miami pink car right now, and I can't imagine driving one of these.
Well, can you imagine them driving around here just in,
Yeah.
No, that's where I would say if I had the lifestyle for it and also the road quality around me
Yeah.
and the budget, it would be something I'd pay for.
It was getting back, oh God, was it 90s or early noughties? That there was a a music video. I think it was by the Black Eyed Peas, and they had an ice blue convertible Mercedes, was it the E-Class? And Mercedes had a bit of a drive of appealing to that market as
Yeah.
well. With all the lovely ladies over the bonnets driving
Yeah.
with the high, and it was ice blue. And I thought, oh, there was a demand for ice blue cars at the time. So maybe there was a bit of inspiration going into that and just that thing at all. But, will there ever be a black or silver Jag ever again? Who knows?
Yes, they've got to.
I'd quite like a pink one, maybe.
I do. I really like it. I really like they keep going live on Instagram as well, which is quite interesting because it's little pans of the different areas of the car and the soft close on the boot and the just everything about it in really slow, high quality. It's just
very
got
good.
this luxurious feel.
It's touchy-feely, isn't it? Right? You
Yeah.
want to, like, hug it. What's that thing on the side? I've not actually looked at there's some compartment on the side of the car and it slots in. I'm not sure if that's the charging point or whether it's a storage.
I haven't seen that bit.
What do you think the stakeholders in the business might be thinking at the moment, like shareholders, employees? Do you think everyone's on board with it?
I think it's doing its job. I think they are probably sat there going, we've created a lot of noise. And it from what I've read, I didn't really follow Jaguar before, know a little bit about Jaguar Land Rover, not
Well,
much. But it wasn't performing, apparently. So
Right,
it needed a rocket up it. It needed something. And this is definitely something.
something. Yeah. And I would just love to have been on the inside. And maybe it's an interview that we can get with Jaguar's creative team on their process. But normally you would involve the entire business in such a large rebrand and get them on board for the entire journey up to launch and beyond.
Yeah.
There must have been a huge amount of pushback with this bold move. And I wonder what the percentage of that pushback was, because it has historically been a safe company, safe brand. Is it that there's somebody that's recently joined the company that has made these final decisions that caused the creative team to be able to, or enabled the creative team to do this big bold move? Or is it that everyone internally is just a bit fatigued with their performance over the years, and then they were just ready for change and let's just try it. We've tried everything else. Let's just go.
Interesting. Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to know what that process looked like and definitely what the buy-in was. But I think it came down from the top. Like the CEO is, the way that he's talking about it, he's incredibly proud. So I think
it's his idea.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Why
Isn't it?
maybe I'm going to present it. I'll take all the credit. Yeah. And shareholders, working on branding, it's, that brand needs to hopefully keep your existing customers on board and attract new ones. And the shareholders are investing in that process. So I wonder how they might be feeling about it. I don't know the demographic of its shareholders, but I expect they'll be holding Jaguar very closely right now to see what's going on and how it's going to affect their return.
Yeah. Well, right now, I think it's meeting the expectations of and their goals that they set out, because it is a huge talking point.
It is. Just needs to translate into revenue to keep the business going, because I'm just so aware of, you can get all of these engagements online, but unless that actually contributes to the bottom line, then it's not sustainable for the business, is it? So
No, but then it's a massive investment that will hopefully carry them through for quite a few years. So it's that long game, isn't it? It's almost like they've just ripped that plaster off, and in doing that, they've created so much. But if it was underperforming before, you've got to do something drastic.
There's a big opportunity for merch with this, the copy nothing. I could imagine people going around with copy nothing, to say that they're original. Maybe that could help get the unit sales out there, whilst the current generation that they're targeting have a higher earning potential to be able to afford with their 100k plus cars.
Have you checked what the price is?
Yes, I'd say I'm pretty sure they start at 100k because the old cars used to start at 50k, so they doubled the starting price
Mm.
from that. But I think in the market, sporty.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call it prestige cars now because it seems that it got a category of its own.
It's in between, isn't it? Because prestige cars are just so much more than that now, aren't they? So it's an interesting one. There'll be a way that this works though, because I don't know too much about the revenue side of things, but
maybe doubling
Yeah.
the price points in order to make up to the past performance in sales, but also the lull in waiting for the new generation to start bringing.
yeah.
But
But it's building that suspense though, isn't it? It's building the suspense is really what I've loved about this whole campaign. The timing, the anticipation that they've built up, even down to the way that they've shot the cars, and you can't really view it as a whole. You can't go in and see all the different areas. You're given it's through a very small lens, and there's still that anticipation building there because you want to see more. Like that little mirrored bit on the inside of the car. Is it a mirror? Is it like something shines on it? What is that? It makes you want to know more about every aspect of that car. And I've never been interested.
whole, isn't it? It's like it's really unique, engaging. It ticks all the boxes. I love the colour. I'm a colourful person, and I think everything has been executed really well. And I think the video quality, everything is just so good. I just hope they manage to make this work and translate to their product portfolio, because they'll need to have more than just this one concept car. What will be their range of cars? Will they all be as unique as this one, or will they start to retreat back into the safety of what they know and maybe what the audience want?
What did Fiat say the other day, that they're not making another grey, black or white Fiat 500 or something? So they are, I think they're only doing poppy colours at the moment or something. I saw that. Everyone's going to want options, aren't they? And this car, they've got to figure out, or they will have figured out, a larger range around it. It's going to be interesting to see.
At the moment, they seem to be, in their messaging, they're very much talking about themselves, and they haven't sounded very customer centric. They haven't really said, we've listened to changing customer behaviours and this is why we've delivered this way. They've spoken about, this is how the founder launched Jaguar and this is why we're doing this. It's very internal, which is great because everyone will be on board with the why internally, but will external audiences be on board with that why externally? And, is that what matters most? They say customers king. So you obviously need to put the customer first. Internal is really important. So you need to meet in the middle there.
Yeah. I think from the outside looking in, it looks like they're taking their core principles, but actually what they're doing is applying it to that new audience. So they're not making a shift from their principles and what they want to do, but they're definitely shifting towards a new market.
And they've gone all in with it.
Yeah, they have. And they're going to be a trailblazer with it, aren't they? They're setting trendsetters, doing something new, something out there, something completely different to what everyone else. If you look at Volvo, it's all very muted and that kind of thing. And then there's space out there. I feel like, from an outsider, and I'm not pretending that I'm an expert in marketing automotive, but it looks like there was space for that, and they have just gone, we'll have that, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's like the original Apple rebrand, where it used to be all the beige Apple products, very old school, the rainbow Apple, and then it took this complete U-turn on its brand, and that's when it came out with the iMacs, with the translucent, colourful backgrounds, a total redesign. No computers ever looked like that before, and it's marketing online as well. I can remember it was all very stark white with the colour, and no one had ever done that before. We're like, oh, starkness, what's that about?
We love white space now.
Yeah, I know. Turned the entire world of marketing around, not just
Yeah.
the computer sector. But yeah, I think it is a very similar approach to Apple's strategy. We just need to see it through. Yeah, we'll see. But
Just I really want them to see. I want to see them holding on to this for the next couple of years so that it can play out properly. And
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that longer journey with it.
what do you think their competitors are thinking right now? Other creative teams of what BMW, Audi, Mercedes.
They're probably all looking at their back history and going, "Oh, they've taken that idea from us. They definitely copied it. Look, they're not copying nothing."
What we're gonna do now?
Yeah, the pressure is on.
Yeah,
But I think, Volvo have had a good shift towards, they've moved away from that very stable, steadfast vibe of the boxy estate car of the 90s. And they've moved to something that's quite sleek, and I see a lot of those around. So
yeah.
I think
Volvo
there's a
we
shift.
but I think Volvo have got Polestar as their younger, well, not quite as edgy as the new Jaguar rebrand, but Polestar is
But
the
similar, there's that car, isn't there, is it the Polestar one that's very, like, boxy sheet metal look?
yes, yeah, and they
Yeah.
come in primer grey, which is quite a cool
Yeah.
colour, but they don't do the colour palette that Jaguar have gone down. So I think I quite like Volvo's strategy where they
Mm.
haven't completely disregarded its brand. They've kept
No.
Volvo and they're evolving Volvo.
You either completely scrap everything, push it to one side, or you do that evolution piece, which takes a
Mm.
lot longer and is more subtle changes where you're not upsetting your current audience.
Yeah, it feels like Volvo were dabbling with the Polestar brand and that car design to see how
Yeah.
it work in the market. So they got two different brands out there now, which is definitely a safer. I think if it were me and my business, that's probably the way I would play it. Like, let's just launch
Yeah.
something else. Let's try and get some new customer markets into this brand whilst we still keep everyone happy on this brand.
Yeah. And that's it. They chucked a massive blooming rock into the pond, haven't they?
Hopefully it's not a nuclear bomb, something like that, that's going to destroy
No.
everything. But
I like it. I think it'll go well.
in future predictions, what do you think? 5 years' time, would Jaguar still be as bold and copy nothing as it states to be?
I hope so. But I feel like I've been brought in on the very short, very crazy journey. But I hope so. I really want it to do well.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the honeymoon period of this new relationship of the rebrand,
Yeah.
and I don't want it to fizzle out. So I just
Yeah.
hope they can keep me interested.
They've got us rooting for them, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, they've got the catch. So we'll see. But maybe
Yeah.
we'll be back 5 years' time and have another review of
Yes.
what happened to Jaguar.